Hey guys, I'm Nisha Homi. Today I'm sharing Channa Dal Payasam, also known as Kadala Parippu Payasam. So without wasting much time, let's get started with the recipe. To make Channa Dal Payasam, also known as Kadala Parippu Payasam, into a bowl I'm adding in 3/4 cup of Channa Dal. Channa Dal is also known as Kadala Parippu in Malayalam. I'm adding in some water and I'm allowing it to soak for about 15 to 20 minutes. While the Channa Dal is soaking, I grated 1.5 coconut. So this is the size of the coconut which I grated, medium sized coconut. And from the other half of the coconut, I am removing some coconut pieces. I am slicing the coconut thinly. So I have sliced the coconut pieces and I am going to keep it aside. Next, you need to extract coconut from the grated coconut. So the first milk which is being extracted is known as thick coconut milk, also known as Onam in Malayalam. So to extract the thick milk, I am adding the grated coconut into my blender jar. Into it I am adding in 1 cup of water and I am going to lightly blend this, and then I will be extracting the coconut milk, the thick coconut milk. Transfer the blended coconut to another bowl and just mix and squeeze it with your hand. Pass it through a sieve to extract the thick coconut milk. Just squeeze it tightly. Put the residue back into the blender. The thick coconut milk or the first coconut milk is ready. I'm going to keep it aside. To extract the second coconut milk into the residue coconut, I'm adding in 2 cups of water. And I'm blending it for about 2 to 3 pulses. Pour the blended coconut into another bowl. Squish and mix with your hand and then transfer to a sieve. Squeeze the coconut as tightly as you can. You can also use a cheesecloth to squeeze out the coconut. Transfer the residue coconut to the blender to extract the third coconut milk. To extract the third coconut milk into the blender, I am adding in 3/4 cup of water. And I am going to blend this and do the same process to extract the third coconut milk. Okay, now the third coconut milk is ready. I am transferring the third coconut milk into the second coconut milk. Okay, now the Channa Dal is nicely soaked. So I'm going to rinse it a couple of times and then I'm going to keep it on a strainer. So the Channa Dal is washed and rinsed and I've kept it on a strainer. Next I'm going to get the jaggery ready. The jaggery I'm using is natural organic sugarcane jaggery. So this jaggery does not contain any sand or dust particles. Okay, I have measured 400 grams of jaggery. I will not be adding water and melting the jaggery. I'll be directly using it into the cooked Channa Dal. To make the payasam, I am using this cooker. This is steel heavy bottomed pressure cooker. Traditionally, a cookware known as uruli is used to make payasam, which is made from bell metal. It is a heavy bottomed vessel. Into the pressure cooker, I am adding in 1 tablespoon desi ghee. Once the desi ghee is heated, I am adding in the soaked, rinsed and strained Channa Dal. And I'm going to lightly roast the Channa Dal in desi ghee for about 3 to 4 minutes. Now this step is very important. Try not to skip this roasting of the Channa Dal in desi ghee. After about 6 minutes, the Channa Dal has roasted well and has started to turn light golden brown in color. So at this stage, I'm adding in 2.5 cups water. Cover and pressure cook for 5 to 6 whistles on medium flame. While the Channa Dal is getting cooked, I am grating the jaggery with my knife. And once the pressure has depressurized by itself, I'm opening the pressure cooker. And as you can see, the chana dal is cooked. I'm lightly mashing the chana dal. So I have lightly mashed the chana dal and I've kept a few chana dal intact. Turn on the flame. Into this I'm adding in the grated jaggery. Give it a mix and put the flame on low and allow the jaggery to melt. Now I like my payasam to be slightly on the sweeter side, hence I am using 400 grams of jaggery. However, if you don't prefer that much sweetness, you can reduce and use about 250 to 300 grams of jaggery. It's just a matter of personal preference. So as you can see, the jaggery almost immediately melted. I'm going to allow the chana dal to saute in the jaggery. So it should take about 10 to 15 minutes. Keep an eye on it. You need to stir it on and off so that the jaggery does not get stick to the bottom of the pan. After about 10 minutes, the jaggery has thickened, and at this stage I'm going to add in the third and second coconut milk. So into this I'm adding in the second and third coconut milk. Put the flame on high and allow it to come to a boil. While that is getting done, I'm crushing 10 cardamoms and I'm peeling off the skin. And into this I'm adding in a big fat pinch of jeera. And I'm going to grind this. And once it boils, reduce the flame to the lowest and let it simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes. And after 15 minutes, the coconut milk has thickened lightly. And at this stage, I'm going to add in the spices. I'm adding in the freshly ground cardamom powder and a fat pinch of jeera. 3/4 teaspoon dry ginger powder. Give it a stir. So I'm going to allow it to simmer again for another 5 minutes. And while it is simmering, I'm going to roast the coconut, cashew nut and raisins. And for that, into my tadka pan, I'm adding in 1 tablespoon desi ghee. And once the ghee is heated, adding the sliced coconut pieces. So while I'm roasting the coconut pieces, the payasam is simmering on low flame. And once the coconut pieces starts to turn light golden brown, remove it to another plate. The coconut pieces will give a nice crunch to the payasam. Next I'm adding in 2 tablespoons of cashew nuts. Lightly roast the cashew nuts. Once the cashew nuts are lightly roasted, remove it to another plate. Next I'm adding in 2 tablespoons raisins. And once the raisins pops up, remove to the plate. Pour the residue desi ghee onto the payasam. Give it a stir. Now add in the thick coconut milk. Give it a stir. Once you add the thick coconut milk, don't allow it to come to a boil. Lightly heat the payasam on medium to low flame and make sure that you are stirring the payasam, as we don't want the coconut milk to curdle. And once it is lightly heated up, add in the roasted cashew nuts, coconut pieces and raisins. Give it a stir. And my chana dal payasam is ready to serve. Turn off the flame and I'm covering it with the lid. And I'm going to keep it closed for another 5 minutes and then only I'll serve the payasam. So by that time the payasam will slightly thicken. So guys, do try this recipe and let me know how it turned out. Thank you for watching and until next time, take care. Bye bye.